So I am filming this intro with my hand, like it's not propped on anything, so if I'm kind of moving around, sorry. This is the makeup look that you'll be wearing for your show. I think even in the tutorial you can't tell exactly how bright and bold it is. Now everything that I used in this video you guys will need to use. You need to buy everything that I told you to buy exactly. I don't want you to go buy a blue that looks kind of like the blue I told you to get, because blue is a very wide ranged color, so if you get a blue that that I didn't tell you to get and everybody else did, you'll look different, or it might not work out the same way that this eyeshadow works out, because different brands, different types of eyeshadow work differently. Some don't show up, some don't stay. Just make sure that you use what I told you to buy, even for the gold as well, and the core, everything that I said you need to get, because they're very color specific. The other thing is that if you can kind of see right there between my eyes, like right here, those two dots, okay, that is because I did not let the coral eyeliner dry before I opened up my eyes really wide, and it transferred onto my lid, and I tried to take it off, would not come off. The main reason that it didn't come off is because this eyeliner is not an actual eyeliner. It is an actual liquid lipstick that you are going to use as an eyeliner. So you need to be careful with that. Make sure that you don't start playing around and opening your eyes and whatever, squinting your eyes, because it'll mess it up and then you'll get it all over your eyeshadow and you'll have to redo it. This is liquid liner, so you're going to need a brush to do your liner, because you're not going to be able to take the applicator that's in the liquid lipstick and put it on your face, because the applicator is too thick. So what it'll do is it'll just be a stripe on your eye that won't look like anything. You'll just mess everything up. So it has to be a thin brush to do your liner, a very small brush. You'll see the one that I use, it's very tiny. It doesn't matter exactly what brush you get. I don't care if it's an angled brush. I don't care if it looks exactly like the one I used. I don't care what brand. Just get a brush that you can use to do your liner. And you can buy brushes for cheap at the dollar store, or Walgreens, or CVS, or Walmart, or Ulta. Nyx sells good brushes. Ecotools, Real Techniques. I wouldn't spend honestly more than like $5 on a brush, honestly. Like, you can find really cheap ones. The other thing is that I've asked you to get 2 lipsticks. One lipstick is for the base. You can kind of tell that the lipstick looks almost red, like a pinky tone. The reason that is because we do need to use a red lipstick, and then you will take the lipstick that you used as an eyeliner and you're gonna pat it on there and make it kind of an ombre look. The last thing that I need to mention is that the thing that I use for my bottom liner in this video is not what you'll be using. I told you guys to buy the NYX, it's like an aqua blue color, I forget what the name is, but that's the color that you need to get. That's what you need to buy for your bottom waterline. This kind of, like, it has like sparkles in it. I don't want you to have sparkles in yours. See, the color you have is just a straight aqua blue tone. I just don't have it because I'm not gonna buy something that I'm not gonna use, but you will need to use the NYX stick liner. Just make sure that you watch the video very carefully. It's very easy to mess up this makeup since it is so bold and kind of in your face. Just make sure that you pay attention, because we don't want to look like clowns. And with this type of makeup, it's very easy to look like one. Little details matter, because any little mess up you can kind of see, like as you can see, those 2 dots are probably like staring at you. I'm not proud of it. So let's go ahead and get into the tutorial.
Okay, so first I'm going to go ahead and take the Loreal quad. I dropped mine the other day and the blue broke out of the palette. It really annoyed me. But I'm going to take that fluffy brush and I'm going to go into the brown shade in that quad. And you're going to just put this all over the lid. Basically, we're not using this really for color so that it shows up. We're putting it down so that the other colors we're going to put over it really gets on there and really blends in very nicely. Now taking that same brush, I'm going to get into that light blue shade. And I'm going to go over the lids again in the same place that I put the brown on, just so that we can get the blue color down. So now you're going to take a fluffy brush that's smaller and more precise. I'm going to go into the NYX Single Shadow in the shade Electroshock. And you're going to take quite a bit of this, and you're going to start by patting this down on the outer corner of your eyelid. Make sure that you pat first, because it kind of helps to get the pigment down, and then you can start blending. Make sure that when you're doing this that you do keep it on the outer part of the V. Do not go into the crease, because then it'll start to look sloppy. Just be very precise and keep it on the outside for now. Then you're going to take some more and you're going to go on the inner part of your eye, making sure that you don't take it too far in, because we don't want to put this dark blue on the center part of our lid. We're going to put something else there. Then with the same brush, I'm going to go back into the Loreal quad and I'm going to take the light blue shadow and I'm going to start going into my crease to kind of blend that out. I'm going back into the NYX eyeshadow and I'm going to intensify the blue that I've already put down on the outer and the inner corners. I'm still not taking that into the bridge of my eye, nor am I putting that on the center. Now I'm going back into the light blue, and what I'm doing here is I'm taking that and I'm blending it up towards my brow so that it looks not so harsh. And then I'm taking that big fluffy brush again, I'm going back into the brown shade, and I'm going to basically use it as an eraser and kind of make sure that the blue doesn't look really dirty. Basically I'm blending it into the skin so that it looks super faded. Now I'm taking my pinky on the Electroshock shade and I'm going to basically press that onto the outer corner of my eye as well as the inner corner. What this is going to do is this is going to help to intensify the blue on the outer parts and the inner parts of my eye, because we do want this blue to be this kind of a quote-unquote star of the show. After I've patted that into my eye, I'm taking the smaller brush and I'm going to blend that in a little bit so it's not quite so harsh and intense. Notice it's only on the outer part of my eyes and not the center. We're going to put something there in a second. Now I'm going to go ahead and just do my other eye. I was just using one eye at the moment so you could kind of understand the process. I'm doing the exact same thing that I did on my right eye to my left eye. Okay, so right here I'm kind of showing you that during this process I do have fallout onto my eyelids on the bottom, so you need to be sure to do your eye makeup before you do your face makeup. Now I'm taking that really small, teeny tiny little brush and I'm going back into the Loreal quad and I'm taking the brown shade and I'm putting that in the center of the eye where we haven't applied anything quite yet. I didn't show you, but I'm taking the Loreal Infallible eyeshadow in the shade Eternal Sunshine, I believe it's called, and I'm putting that over the brown that I put in the center of the lid. So I'm not being super precise right here. You can kind of see that I am putting some of the gold into the blue spots on the outer and inner corners of my eye, but this is not something that you're going to put over the entire lid. This is just supposed to stay in the very center, so it's going to be kind of a blue and a gold halo eye. Now I'm using that small precise brush again. I'm going into the NYX eyeshadow and I'm basically just going to take that and cover up the spots on the outer corner and the inner corner of the eye that I put the gold down that I didn't necessarily mean to. So basically I'm using this as a sort of eraser to get rid of parts of the gold. So as you can see here in that little comparison, the eye that I had just worked on has a smaller amount of gold versus the eye that I'm working on now. So now I'm going to clean this eye up as well so that there's less gold in the center, so that it's more precisely in the center of my eye versus more wide. So you can kind of see the difference here. After I finished cleaning up the gold, I'm going to take the gold shadow once again, and I'm basically going to intensify the parts that I have down. I'm not going to apply more to different parts of my eye. I'm just going to go over the gold that I didn't cover up with the blue and make it super intense. The shinier, the brighter, the better. Okay, so I kind of do this for a while actually. In the actual time, it took me like 5 minutes to do that. Then I go in with the blue again and I kind of just intensify the blue. I don't really erase anything, I just intensify everything. As you can see, I have fallout as I mentioned earlier, so what I'm doing is I'm taking a clean wipe, like a makeup remover, which you guys will need. You will need some of these because this makeup is very messy. And I'm basically just cleaning up my under eye area, and then I'm also making sure that I make a very nice cut with the blue. So after you clean up from underneath the eye, you need to be very precise and make sure that you wipe the eye makeup up towards your temple so that you get a nice cut upwards to kind of lift your features. At this point, I went ahead and did the rest of my face makeup. I put on foundation, bronzer, highlighting, did my eyebrows, all that stuff. Now I'm doing the blush. So you can see I'm taking the NYX powder blush in the shade Mocha, and I'm applying that to my cheeks. As you can see here, the cheek that I'm doing versus the cheek that hasn't had any blush applied to it looks very different. I look like I have, tones to my face. I don't look sick. Now I'm just going to go ahead and do the other cheek so that it's even. You want to make sure that when you apply this blush, you don't apply it so that you can't see it, okay? Since you are in color guard, you have to make your makeup a little bit more intense than you normally would for everyday wear, even if you feel ridiculous, because you probably will, but that's okay. Now I'm taking this small flat definer brush and I'm wiggling it into the blue eyeshadow, and I'm going to apply this to my bottom eyelid. At this point, I still have not applied any mascara, so it's very easy to apply this without messing up anything that I have down there. Make sure that you apply this very close to your lash line, and make sure it's very intense. And make sure it's very bold, and you will be doing this to both eyes, obviously, because that would look weird if we only had one eye done. So here I'm applying eyeliner. I'm using a brush because I'm actually using a gel liner that I already have. Like I mentioned in my intro, I didn't buy the NYX stick liner that you guys will be using, so I'm not going to show you what I'm actually using, but you will use the NYX stick liner in the shade Azure, I think. So as you can kind of see, the liner is very intense and bold. Now I'm using this very, very small brush. I'm going to use this for eyeliner. You need to have bought one on your own. I'm taking the NYX Liquid Suede liquid lipstick in the shade Foiled again, and I'm going to take the applicator and I'm going to wipe it on the back of my hand so that I can get a good amount of lipstick on my hand. And then I'm taking my brush and I'm going to pick up some of that product. You don't want to take a super amount because then it'll smudge on your eye, but you don't want to take a little bit because then it won't show up. So you have to find a happy medium. Now I'm just going to do my eyeliner as normal. For me personally, it helps to kind of apply my eyeliner very close to my lash line at first, and then look back and just take steps back as you're doing this, because if you apply it too thick, it'll transfer onto your eyelids like I mentioned in the beginning, and then you'll have to start your whole makeup over because this liquid lipstick won't come off of your lid if it does get on that blue. It's very hard to go backwards, so just be sure that you take baby steps, okay? Take your time. You will be doing a wing with this, so it is very important that you're careful when you're doing this. And now I'm just doing the other eye, using the same technique as I did on the other eye. Make sure that when you do the wing on this eye that you kind of make it as even as possible. Make sure that it's the same angle up, and make sure it's the same length as the other one. Right here I'm going back into the L'Oreal Infallible eyeshadow, and I'm taking that small brush that I used earlier, and I'm going to go back into my lower lash line, and I'm going to apply some of that gold to the blue that I had added earlier, just so that it kind of goes all together, so that we have blue and gold all over the eyes. Now I'm going to go ahead and curl my lashes and apply mascara. Right here, after I curled my lashes, this is where I realized that my liquid liner had smudged onto my eyelid and it wouldn't come off. I just kind of gave up eventually. So like I mentioned earlier, just make sure that you're careful about that. Right here, I start applying my mascara to my top lashes. I don't actually show you me doing them because we all know how to do mascara. I have faith that you know how to do that. But now I'm taking that same small teeny tiny brush that I've been using for the gold shadow, and I'm just intensifying the gold again. We want to make sure that's very intense. I'm also going back over the blue and making sure again that it's very bold. We want to keep that all very bright. Now I'm applying my bottom mascara. Again, I'm not going to show you that. Now I'm taking the NYX Soft Matte Lip Cream in the shade Amsterdam, and I'm going to apply this. It is a liquid lipstick. It's called a lip cream, but it's a liquid lipstick. This is a more comfortable formula, so you will be wearing it all day. But I am lining my lips with that, and then I'm going to start filling them in. But I'm not going to fill them in all the way. I'm just going to fill the outer parts, and I'm going to leave the center of my top and my bottom lip empty. As you can see right here, there's a circle where there's no product yet. Now I'm going to use the liquid suede NYX lipstick, and I'm going to put that on the back of my hand just like we've been doing this whole time. And I'm going to take my finger and I'm going to push that onto the center of my lips. As you can see, once I've done that, I'm going to purse my lips, like kind of like you're going to kiss somebody, and you're going to tap on it so that it blends in. After you've done that and kind of pushed it onto your lips, kind of keep blending it in. Make sure that you don't touch the parts of the red that you already put down. Basically, we want to make this a faded look so that we create an ombre lip. And I'm going to do that again. I'm going to take a clean finger this time because my other finger has red on it. And I'm going to put that on the same places that I did before. And basically, you're just going to keep doing that until you get a nice effect, okay? Because we don't want a red lip, but we don't want a super bright coral lip. So we want a kind of mix of the two, which is why we're doing this ombre lip. And that's it. It's pretty simple. Just make sure that this is what it looks like when you're done. If you haven't bought what you need, everything you will need is listed in the comment section, so make sure you have that. If you have questions, be sure to ask them in the comments as well.